What's going on, guys? Today is the first episode of Bit Beast podcast. Today I'm here with the usual co host, which is Double DYT. Today we have a lineup of topics to speak of. This is going to be I just want to go ahead and say that this is going to be a kind of short episode. We're basically just testing the waters with this. This one's not going to be live stream, it's pre recorded. And we only have a couple topics we want to speak of. This was all done in about an hour in total. Not including recording time, so please don't be mad if this looks like ass right now. However, we have a couple topics queued up which we will talk about, and our first one is the future of PC gaming, and subtopics of that are prices, hardware, etc. And we have an image to show, and that is the GPU roadmap to Nvidia. I'm sorry that this one's in a different language. It's the highest resolution and the most recent picture I could find of it. But basically, it looks like we've already made a huge jump from Maxwell to Pascal. Everybody was really excited that we were going to make this huge jump in the GPU market and the GPU industry. And now we have $150 GPUs that originally would have costed $300 a couple years ago. And the next generation will be Volta, which I'm not 100% sure if is going to be used in another series of gaming GPUs, but I'm guessing so since all the ones before Pascal were. But this one has a much higher jump. So, Mr. Double D, what do you think about that?
Yeah, so like I said, it reminds me of Moore's Law, was that it again?
Yeah.
Yeah, Moore's Law. It's giving me a lot of Moore's Law vibes where it's just shooting right up. Although this time it's exponentially rather than just times 2 each year. It's like just well no, times yeah, whatever. I don't know the exact math. It's almost 1 in the morning, but yeah, I'm seeing the picture here, and that's insane because you know, Tesla, Fermi, those two are about maybe 10% being generous there of what we have now. And then not only that, Volta, something I haven't heard much of yet, but is, almost a whole 100% jump from Pascal, which I feel like just came out.
We are
So
looking at more of a. It's the jump that we're about to make before 2018 is more than the jump between 2008 GPUs and 2014 GPUs. It is more than that. And that
exactly.
those are so many years between those, and we're going to make more of a jump than between nearly 8 years of what is it, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. That's 6 years. Sorry, awful at math, folks. Yeah, so 6 years, we're going to make that jump in 1 year. So that's pretty cool. I'm really excited for that because that means that stuff's probably going to get even cheaper. And speaking
Hopefully.
of, yeah, hopefully, we all know about the awful things that happen with MSRP ratings and price scalping.
Yeah,
Awful, awful, awful.
don't get me started.
Yeah. Mr. Double D here. Awful experience with having to buy a GPU after all of the Bitcoin
Bitcoin.
miners have come over and bought them all, and there's a big market on it for right now, and it's a nightmare. Trust me. Although I bought my 1066 gigabyte Gaming X MSI PC or GPU for
At
$400.
launch.
No, it wasn't even at launch. It was months after launch, and I bought it for $400. Uh,
Yeah.
Overpaid for it, and I
Way overpaid.
yeah, way overpaid, and I kind of feel bad, but whatever. I spent the money
And
already.
yeah, and that's the same situation I'm in is it's either wait for it to hopefully go down or be in stock because a lot of the sites that are still only 40 over MSRP are always out of stock, it seems. It's either that or yeah, just get something that's, $150 over MSRP at $400, and that is not something I want to be doing, especially this late into the product's existence.
Yeah, because I'm not sure if it's almost confirmed they haven't put an actual date on Volta, but if you look at this roadmap, it is before 2018. If you want to be really specific, it's like right before 2018. It's shooting for the end of the year, but that makes sense. When did Pascal release?
That was roughly like the end of 2016, I believe.
Yeah, 2016. Actually, May 2016. What? Really?
Oh wow! So right in the middle of the
Okay. So they
middle of the year.
it looks like they but there were a lot of them that released like later on.
Yeah, I was about to
So
say the lineup wasn't fully completed
yeah,
till late in the year.
nowhere near that. Wasn't the 1050 Ti the newest one?
Yeah, that was the newest one in
Yeah.
terms of launch.
So if we are comparing all of the past architectures, is that right? Architectures?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, I thought so. If we're comparing all the architectures together, then yeah, it does seem that Volta's going to come like right before 2018 comes, which is kind of big, but 2018 is also like right around the corner, so I don't know when they're going to release it because it's already August and
Yeah.
nearly mid. Actually, it's almost mid August. Like in a couple days, it'll be mid August, and I don't think I've have heard anybody talk about Volta outside of this roadmap. So a little bit of an issue there. But if we see it early 2018, that's fine. Um, but
Just
yeah,
have it completed first, so you don't
yeah,
have any parts spontaneously combust.
yeah. Now another thing we want to talk about is stuff getting cheaper, and I want to go ahead and close the overlay. I want to open up this new build that I put together, and I want to take this roadmap down. Actually, you know what? No, I want to pull up my current build right now. This is what I have right now. So you guys can see this. I have a i7 4790K at sorry. Had to burp. At this time, I think what was it, 6700K? Right? That was the popular one, right?
Yes, that I have the non-K version right now.
Yeah, that was the most popular at the time. That was like because you have like the 4790K, then the 6790K, and the 7700 or 7700K. Those are
Yes.
all like the main, like those are the ones people buy when they have like a mid tier, high tier, even high tiers and mid tiers. Both of them really they purchase those chips or those CPUs. Those are like
Yes.
the most popular, and by the time I had my computer finished, ready to build, 6700Ks had already been out for like a
A
while.
while.
So it took me probably two entire years to get this computer built because I had to slowly sell everything I owned. I sold all my PS3 games, all my my PS3, all my PS3 games, PS2, all my PS2 games, PS2 controllers, everything. Not my old computer. I still have that. I salvaged a hard drive from that. I love having 2 terabytes of hard drive space. It's wonderful. But yeah, I sold a ton of my stuff to get this computer, and I worked and I even sold like Christmas presents that I like absolutely wasn't supposed to sell. I sold I think an Elgato that I had, and then after that I sold like a newer version of the Elgato. I think I had two Elgatos, if I'm not mistaken. I think it was just the Elgato Pro, the one that goes into your PCIe port. But yeah, I sold that. That one also almost caused my PC to overheat. Um, because it was right above my GPU fan, or right
Oh,
above, or
so it
right
was
below.
heat blasting it.
Yeah, yeah, and I had no idea. I don't think it gave off much heat. Oh, and also, my computer was too slow to run the software, so $200 literally worthless. So that was nice. Even though it was hardware, it took a lot of CPU power apparently, and nothing worked. It would probably work if I put it in my computer now, but I sold it and told my dad I was selling an old mouse. That was a lie because he doesn't want me selling any of my Christmas presents, but I sold them anyway because I had to have money. Nice. Spent 2 minutes talking about fucking nothing. Anyways, basically what I'm saying is this build right here. It was like 1,400 at least. That's the number that I remember the most. Okay, and the case fans, the Noctua, best case fans in the world. I don't even have them in my build. Couldn't figure out what to do with them. The wires were too short. The connectors didn't work. Like ridiculous. I had awful experience with that. So I didn't even use those. Those are just sitting. I don't even know where they are right now. But I spent $40 on those and don't have those. But my main point is that I spent about $1,400. That is the last number I absolutely remember spending on my current computer. However, I put the build back together. I was looking at it today because there's a saved parts list on PC Parts Picker, and it was only $940, which meant it had dropped by almost $500
Yeah.
in just like what, a year?
Most of
little
those
over a
parts
year?
were older than a year, but at the time that you
Oh
built it,
yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. I'm just saying in the time that I built it to now, I've had this for
yeah, about a year,
probably probably about a year.
less than if
Yeah.
that.
Definitely not even a year cuz I finished it. I remember talking about building it when I was in class like last year. So no. Uh
Yeah.
wait, it was last year I finished building it. So yeah, it was probably about a year. Less than a year, I know that. Anyways, I built it again, or I didn't build it again. I checked on it, and it dropped by $500. That's huge. Now, another thing I did is I went ahead and put another build together myself, kind of recently, and this is $1,978 build. Now, this right
You
here.
actually didn't build this. You just set
No,
up
I
a
did. I
parts
didn't. I
list.
didn't actually build this. I just set it up today on parts on the PC part
Part
picker.
picker.
Yeah. And the thing about this is that this was only my first build was I would actually round it to 1,500 after shipping costs and all that stuff, because I slowly built my computer. I bought part by part whenever I got money, and this took literally 2 years to buy all the parts. Now, so I spent about 1,500. Now this right here is not even $500 more than that after mail-in rebates. I don't like to include those, but it's gonna prove my point, so I'm just gonna include those this time. Only $500 more, and you have a Ryzen 7 top tier Ryzen 7 1800X 8-core processor with liquid cooling and Vengeance LPX 300 megahertz. Is it megahertz? The memory, RAM,
Or gigahertz. If you're doing
gigahertz.
like 3 point something, it's usually gigahertz.
Let me check.
Because
No, RAM.
oh, RAM.
Yeah, it's RAM. It's megahertz.
Yeah, it's megahertz
Yeah.
since it's in the
So,
thousands.
we're looking at high tier RAM, top tier CPU.
I think
Um,
I think you have an issue.
what?
The price isn't being counted for the CPU.
Oh no! I just realized that. That's like $500 taken out of this build. I'm so stupid. I was about to sell it. I just built an end game computer for a couple $100 extra than this like mid-tier computer. Oh, we spent so much time talking about that. I feel like an idiot. Okay, next topic. I already want to kill myself. Okay, shit. Okay, Acer's doing Acer VR. Acer VR, next generation VR, gonna be fucking awesome. All right. So next generation of VR is gonna be better. It's gonna be cheaper. It's just gonna be fucking awesome. It's just gonna be better, and it's gonna become a normal thing, and it's gonna be fucking awesome because I have gone to a VR room. Shout out to Ricky because he took me to the VR room, and that was super fun. We went like I think 2 nights in a row. I was not told about the focus knobs on the side, so I actually had a really blurry experience with VR. However, I'm sure it's great because it was still fun. But VR is wonderful. Now, I was using a like top tier computers with like 1080 Ti's and the HTC Vive. But Acer right here, this holiday, is shipping a VR headset with full motion trackers. I'm not sure if it comes with controllers, but I'm sure it does. And it's only $400. and it's shipping this year. And that's huge because there's actually a couple companies. I think Acer or Asus is making one, and I think Microsoft is making one. And then on top of this, we have a new Vive coming out where I don't think there's any cords. There's a couple things. I'm actually going to talk about that in a second. I have that queued up. But this right here, I'll go ahead and show you a better picture of it. You can see it. It's hooked up to an Acer Predator laptop. And you can see that the controllers on them actually look similar to the early Vive controllers. This might actually be, yeah, the early Vive controllers. The new Vive controllers they're just kind of like sticks with circles at the end, but these go around. So it looks like the early controller. Yeah, so like the early Vive controllers where I had like the big circles. I'm not sure if I can even find a picture of that, but it looks like that. And I'm pretty hyped for it because spending $400 instead of $900 sounds wonderful. Because I don't have money to drop 800, 900. I think Oculus Rift actually sold this summer for $500 or $600. They dropped their prices because they're actually not doing that well. ACC Vive is like dominating the platform because of a lot of reasons. But hopefully Acer changes things because I'm not willing to drop that much money on a VR system. I don't think me and you have ever talked about VR. So do you plan on getting VR one day? What do you think about it?
Just because of just the way motion tracking is set up currently and how a lot of it works where you usually end up physically moving around a little bit. Nothing against moving around, but I'd have to be you'd need a dedicated room almost. It's
Yeah.
not something you can just slap into a bedroom, especially my bedroom of all kinds,
Or my side bedroom.
my room's only 8 by 9 feet, so that's tiny.
Yeah, and you've
That
seen my
wouldn't work.
room.
Yeah,
That
so
would
that
not
wouldn't
work.
work at all with the advanced motion tracking. And then also on top of that, without the advanced motion tracking, it's almost kind of pointless. So it's like there's always going to be that one limiter to VR where you're going to need extra space and dedication to it that's going to add on to the price and all that. But, once I live in an apartment or something and have a very decent income, oh yeah, I'd love to get into it. It's just too difficult to get into currently, and I think it's going to be like that for a while.
Yeah, I agree. I think we need more desktop VR games because a lot of the early, like when you saw YouTubers playing with the Oculus Rift test kits, those were only like $400, I believe, and I actually
Yeah,
almost bought one of those.
same
Um,
here.
yeah, so I was pretty hyped for that, and nobody was really. There were a couple people that were making like full body movement videos, but for the most part, it was like games that people were just sitting down playing on their computer, and the VR was just their viewing thing, which
Yeah,
I mean, like I wouldn't say I'd prefer that, but like that's probably what I would do a lot of the time. I would definitely
yeah,
want that to be an option at the very least. Um, but me personally, I probably have enough room kinda to do it in my other room because I'm making my I have two rooms in my house. One's super small and the other one's like kind of normal bedroom sized. And that room is getting renovated right now, and I'm getting new flooring, and I'm turning that into just PC room. And then this current room I'm in, which is really small, is just going to be a sleeping room. So I might set up VR in my room. I'm not 100% sure. I think I might have enough space to do it, but I definitely want desktop play to be an option because I've played VR before, and movement's actually not that big of a thing as you'd think, because in a lot of games, even like first person shooter
it's
games,
limited movement.
it's actually, you really don't have to move around at all in a lot of games. A lot of them you have like you use one controller to like point and click wherever you go on the floor,
Yeah.
So that's a big thing, or either that, or I think the shooting game that I played, I forgot what it was, but it's a first-person shooter, and you just like used one of the analog sticks to walk around, and then you aimed with everything else. So that was pretty fun. That was all right. Although the movement does feel a little weird. So yeah, there is an issue with movement, but I think people will find a work around it. Luckily, this VR system, this right here, I'll take a close-up pic right here. You can see it's being officially supported by Windows 10, I believe, and it's actually called mixed reality development, or mixed reality. Sorry, it's not the development edition. It's This is just an early prototype, or it's not an early prototype. This is the dev kit that I'm showing you right now, I believe. Obviously, they're not going to be selling dev kits this holiday. Or shit, maybe they are. I don't know. Maybe I've misread the articles, but I believe that they're releasing a full product this holiday, which is wonderful because I believe what the mixed reality thing is actually it scans everything around you, and it makes sure that it sets your boundaries and it shows you where things are.
Nice.
So
So it's
like,
like a altered reality.
yeah, kinda. Like the camera, it actually has cameras pointing out, so you'll actually, like, if there's a desk in front of you, like on the HTC Vive in games, it shows where you're, like, if you walk near a wall, there will be like a red grid in the game that you're playing, and if you touch that, you'll just be touching a wall because it knows where the walls are. So that's pretty cool how it shows you where they are in the game. And I think
Yeah.
that's part of the mixed reality thing. I think another thing, the mixed reality is like you'll just see whatever the camera sees, but it's gonna add like pictures and stuff in the air. So I think that's another part of mixed reality, because I've seen pictures where people are wearing the headsets and they go and they walk to their like kitchen and uh they're checking Twitter on like their I don't know, their cabinets or something, you know. But this has a cord on it, although it actually looks like a single small cord, which is a big deal because if that's all the cords needed to power this, the ACC Vive is super annoying because there's like four cords in a bundle that you constantly have to throw around yourself whenever you get tangled up in it. So this would be huge if that's true, but I don't think that they're putting too much emphasis on the whole mixed reality thing because you definitely can't just wear this and walk around your house. That's pretty clear. I don't think this is going to have wireless capabilities. But to sum it all up, I think how much was it again? Let me check. $399 VR headset, full motion trackers, everything. This holiday season, really hyped for that. Might get it, not sure. I believe that there's multiple companies making new VR systems. I don't know about other ones other than Acer and Vive, or I mean HTC, and I have HTC second generation right here. It's not actually really the second generation, but I have a picture right here. It says, "Prepare for the new membership of the Vive family. No phone, no PC, standalone VR," which sounds wonderful as long as it's under $500, of course, because that would be ridiculous. Because if it's standalone VR, there's no way it's gonna be too powerful.
Yeah.
Like, no way. But I have right here, it says easy to carry, easy to use, easy to carry, simplistic, lightweight, portable, no phone, no PC, revolutionary standalone design, and it supports Daydream now with WorldSense, which is a Google thing. Precise movement tracking, lean, dodge, and duck as you wish. And that is just wonderful.
Ooh.
So yeah, that's pretty big. I'm excited to see that. I think I'm a little bit more excited for the Acer one, just because that looks like it's gonna be a lot more towards gaming, and this one looks more like it's gonna be towards like entertainment and stuff, which is fine. I don't mind it being towards entertainment because I would love to watch a movie in VR. You know,
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind. I could watch some videos in VR.
Well, actually, I since I heard Google and we're on the subject of VR, I wonder if Google Cardboard is still that relevant.
Yeah. I mean, like, it's pretty much the simplest way for somebody to use VR on a phone.
Yeah.
So I definitely think it's like relevant, but there's
Way better stuff.
Yeah, like easily, like you can pay just a little bit more money and get something like pretty good.
Yeah,
Because I
like
mean,
the
we're talking about
Samsung
like
thing.
really cheap lenses. Really, I mean, it's
Yeah.
literally made out of cardboard.
Yeah.
um, but yeah, phone VR is okay. I actually used a semi like it was a budget, but it was made out of pretty good quality. It was definitely way above cardboard. It's probably worth like $25, but it was like a phone. It was a phone casing, and you just slip your phone in, and it has the lenses and all. And I don't know, maybe the lenses were blurry, maybe I didn't have it like tuned correctly, but in my experience, it wasn't all that good. However, I did get to use Samsung VR or Samsung Gear VR at Best Buy, and that one was really good.
Yeah.
Have you ever used VR before?
Yes, I've played with the Google Cardboard before and the Samsung Gear that they have in the Best Buy.
Mm. Yeah, and another thing I think that could have affected my my mobile VR experience is probably my phone, because I have a OnePlus 3T and that's only in 1080p, which is 1080p is not so good for VR.
Close up.
Yeah, I'm gonna check on the resolution of the Vive screen resolution. Let me check on that, see what that is. Um, HTC Vive actually has 1200 by 1080 per eye. So yeah,
Okay, yeah, that is better.
yeah, that's way better. That's like a phone per eye.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's definitely way better. Um, so that's that's pretty good. I'm not sure where Acer is gonna stand on this. Let's see, Acer VR resolution. Let's see if there's any information on that. And it appears that this VR headset's going to come in red and blue, which is pretty cool. Um, I don't see. Okay, design and performance. It seems that it's one of the lightest out there, out of all of them. Okay, here we go. Uh, Acer HMD's 90 hertz refresh rate, which is okay. I would definitely like it to be higher than that, but that's whatever.
90. 90?
90
Was that what you said?
90 hertz refresh rate, yeah. And
Okay,
then
that's not bad.
a 2880 by 1440 effective resolution. So that is 1440 by 1440 for each lens, which is pretty good.
Yeah.
Um, and that's actually above HTC Vive.
At least currently.
Yeah, I mean, like, it's. I know that this came out later, like way after the HTC Vive, but that's above the HTC Vive, and it's like half the price of the HTC Vive, so that's pretty good. I mean, we're
Yeah.
talking about higher resolution for cheaper. I mean, yeah, that's a pretty big deal. Um, but yeah, I mean, I'm pretty hyped up for it. I'm glad that it's coming out. We're recording. It's been about 28 minutes. We can go on to like one more topic. I wanted to talk about one more important topic, and then I think we're gonna wrap the show up. Ryzen and Intel, there's a big issue happening right now, and I think it almost happened with the GPU market, but I think maybe AMD got into a little bit of an issue. I think they can't do it as quickly, or maybe they're just not focused on that right now and they switched over to CPUs. But we have a big issue here. When Intel Coffee Lake releases, or Gen 8, whatever, I'll actually put up a picture of that right now. Whenever this releases, I believe Coffee Lake is going to release this year. Is that right? Or is it next year?
I haven't heard of it yet.
I believe
Is that
it's,
the i9 stuff or no?
no, it's just like the next generation. So I guess maybe. So we're on 7th generation right now.
Yeah.
So I mean, I guess so. Like 18, like 8800K, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay, it actually looks like it's coming out on the 21st this month. I'm not 100% sure, but that's what it looks like. So if that's true, that's cool. But here's the issue, okay? Here's the issue we're talking about here. Ryzen's been out, okay? Ryzen's been out for a little bit, okay? We don't know, but showing from what, because when Ryzen stuff started coming out, I didn't even know it was coming. I was like, whoa, where'd this come from? Because I didn't hear anything
Yeah.
about it. And yeah, Dalton, Mr. Double D here, he can agree. All right, we didn't. This stuff just like boom, it's on the
Slipped
market.
up.
What's up, Ryzen? What's good? And they're kind of above Intel. I think the consensus, the majority of people say that they're a little bit above Intel right now. And Intel's going to be like, all right, we got to make this Coffee Lake thing really big. Gen 8, here we go. But guess what? That's coming out on the 21st, which is a while from now. That's a couple weeks from now. And guess what? AMD's probably got another chipset already, like boop, boop, boop. Because,
Yeah.
a lot of the Ryzen stuff, that was created from like scrapped bigger systems. So like they had like powerful stuff, and then they were just like,
Yeah.
okay, Ryzen 7, disable some cores. It's already broken. Let's just permanently disable those cores, and let's throw it down to Ryzen 5. And that's how they came up with Ryzen 5 and Ryzen 3. I think that's why did Ryzen 7 come out first?
Yes.
Well,
I
then there
believe
we
so.
go. That explains plenty of stuff. They were like, okay, well, we initially released this. All the broken chips or whatever, we're just going to bump those down, disable some cores. Boom, we got Ryzen 5. Okay, Ryzen 5's out, bump those down, cores. Okay, now we're going to release Ryzen 3. And then Intel's going to come out with the Coffee Lake thing, but we don't know how far away AMD is to creating another thing. So everybody's going to be like, oh, cool, new Intel chips. We can all switch back to loving Intel. What's up? Some rumors about Ryzen 21. Okay. And then that releases. And then, so I think AMD is just a little bit ahead of Intel. And I think Intel needs to make a big move right now if they want to keep their a hold
Throne.
of this right here. Yeah, because they're getting hurt right now. I know it. I know for a fact they're getting hurt right now. Intel, you didn't buy AMD. You didn't even think about AMD if you were spending more than $700 on a PC a couple years ago,
Yeah.
or like not even a couple years ago, like a year ago. You didn't
AMD
even
is relevant again.
AMD. What AMD? Nobody cares about AMD. Oh, AMD GTX 480, whatever the hell that's called. But okay, maybe that's okay. Well, temps are too high. Got to go with the 1060.
Nvidia.
Yep. So it was always if you're mid tier, mid high tier, or high tier, it was Intel, Nvidia, or it was wrong. That's all you
Yeah.
had. Those were your only choices. You had Intel and Nvidia, or you were wrong. That was what you got. That's just that. And now look at it. Now people are making huge enthusiast builds with AMD processors. AMD is above Intel right now. Now, I'm not sure exactly how these chips perform compared directly to each other. It's kind of like a toss-up in my research that I've seen. It seems like Ryzen, like their multi-core power is like off the charts, but Intel's like single-core power is a little bit better. So I'm not quite sure.
And
But
that's kind of how it's always been in the past.
oh yeah, because they have more cores. But that makes
Yeah.
sense. But they're relevant again. Like
Yeah.
big
And
people are putting
especially,
AMD chips in there.
yeah. Especially on the server side of things because of the how many PCIe lanes that Ryzen supports.
Oh yeah, I remember. I think Linus talked about that. It had like a ridiculous number of PCIe lanes.
44, I believe.
40, yeah, something like that. It was like ridiculous, and I was
Versus
like,
26 that Intel is
I didn't even know
current.
what you would need that for, but apparently that's a thing. I was like, all right, I got two of
Insane data
those.
centers.
I was like, I got two of those. I don't know what you guys are doing with 40. But a PCIe lanes, is that talking about slots or am I retarded?
Yes, it's I believe slots and
Okay.
also attachments.
Okay. I was just making sure.
So
I was about to say like it has nothing to do with the slots, and now it just sounds stupid. But
no, no, it
but
does. It does.
yeah. So that's another big thing about it. So yeah, a lot of people are looking towards it. I made a $550 build with AMD's Ryzen 3 one
And this
twelve
one had
hundred,
the
I
right
think.
price too.
Yeah, and this one had the right price, I swear. Actually, I think I no, I don't have that image queued up, but we don't need that. That's fine. Um, but yeah, that was a big thing, and I think that AMD Intel really needs to make a big move if they want to do
Yeah.
something about AMD right now. It's a big deal. Um, So, recap, we talked about the future of gaming. We're looking at a lot of a big increase with the market for, or with the power of GPUs and the new on the you can take a look at the roadmap. I will pull that back up real quick. GPU roadmap, jumping from Pascal to Volta, we are making 6 year increases in less or about a year, and that's huge.
Yeah.
I mean, we're talking about almost doubling our power,
Yeah, it's
and
gone exponentially.
it's massive leap, massive leap. I think AMD may need to do something about that too, because I think they're falling behind just a little bit in
They're
the
they're
GPU
getting
market.
they're getting double split where they either have to,
Yeah,
the two-side war where,
yeah, they
you
need
have
to
to
pick
choose
one
one to
because
attack.
Nvidia doesn't make like processors for gamers,
And
so
yeah.
they're just like, all right, GPU market, we got it, don't even sweat. And
Yeah.
then AMD's like, which one? So we got a little bit of an issue there.
Yeah. I
Uh,
know that do you have that tweet as
oh
one of
yeah,
the
I totally
images?
forgot about the tweet. Nvidia made a tweet a while ago about it says, "Welcome
AMD.
back, AMD. Threadripper and a GeForce GTX 1080 Ti make a compelling pair," and that is true because AMD's relevant again, and a 1080 Ti, the king of GPUs, can go with an AMD chip, which is unheard of a year ago. So that's pretty big news
Yeah.
that they tweeted that out. Another thing we talked about, Acer VR. More VRs coming out, not just Acer. We're also talking about Vive second gen. I'm not even sure if it's really going to be called a Vive, but it says prepare for the new member of the Vive family. So maybe it will be called a Vive something.
The
But
Vive 2.
hopefully not. But no phone, no PC, standalone VR. Big news. Talked about Acer
One
VR.
cable.
One cable possible for the Acer VR. If so, huge news, big a deal. It's actually got a higher screen resolution than or lens resolution actually than the Vive, and the Vive is like $800 right now, and this right here is $300. So that's a big deal, or 400. Sorry about that, $399. We also talked about Ryzen being a little bit ahead of. Actually, I have a picture queued up right now. The $268 Ryzen 7 1700 and the 7700K for $300. We take a look at that. And we can see that it's not too far behind, and it has twice as many cores and threads. So, we're looking at a possible comeback for AMD. Let's see how
Not
Intel
possible. They
responds.
are.
Oh yeah, they're there, but let's just see how long it
We'll see how
lasts.
Intel
Yeah,
reacts.
let's see how long it lasts. We're gonna see the new Intel CPUs coming out in the next week or so, if
And
I've
then
read this
even
article right. And then AMD might be on
AMD.
top.
Yeah.
They might
Because
just
AMD
pop
might
out with
just,
another thing.
yeah.
Yeah. And we've also talked about old current build. This right here, $400 drop. Oh my God, I'm an idiot. both pictures, were actually had no price for the CPU. Both of them.
Wow.
Wow, I'm gonna actually have to cut that out because I spent for the people that are watching, and
About 15
yeah,
minutes.
I spent literally about almost like 15 minutes talking about the build that I made and actually the prices to both of them are completely messed up. So, first episode, we're gonna have some problems. We're gonna get better. Don't worry about it. This episode, literally, all of our social media accounts, this entire system, this entire brand was set up in literally like 30 minutes. No, not even one night, like 30 minutes. We did all of this in 30 minutes. So sorry if this wasn't the most entertaining thing or the most beautiful podcast you've ever seen. We've got some growing to do, folks. I hope you will join us next episode. I'm not sure when that episode will be. Me and my friend here, Dalton, we have varying schedules. Sometimes he's at a different house and doesn't have access to a computer or has awful internet. So we'll just see where this goes from here. But this is the first episode. I hope you guys go ahead and subscribe. Follow us on our Twitter. What else do we have? We got Instagram, YouTube. Twitter, YouTube. Make sure you subscribe to YouTube because that's where you're watching this. Twitch, SoundCloud. Yeah. We got a SoundCloud. All that stuff. We got it.
You set up a SoundCloud?
Yep. I got a SoundCloud, got a Twitch, I got a Twitter, I got an Instagram, and I might make one more thing if I find anything else to make. But all of those links will be in the description. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. Second episode coming soon, hopefully. This is the first episode, so please be patient. Thank you guys for tuning in. I'll see you guys next time. We will see you guys next time.
Upload this on my channel as well.
Yes, he's going to be uploading this on his personal channel, and I'm just going to be uploading this to the podcast channel.
Yes.
So yeah, see you guys next time.